Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Radio Sidewinder Talk Show. I'm Commander Felix Jefferson, and today I'm joined by...
I'm Commander Steven Atchernock.
And I'm Commander Zahn.
The newest member of the Radio Sidewinder Talk Show crew.
Some good news just to start off the show today. It turns out that the Cerberus plague has been eradicated from Wilkes Orbital. It's pretty awesome. I mean, it was a very dangerous disease. I mean, if anybody remembers, the last time the plague came around, it spread to over 30 systems within a month and put billions of lives at risk. So it's really good that the High-KT was actually available in enough of a quantity to, cure the people at Wilkes Orbital.
Well, I mean, who would want to really spread the plague, though? I mean, that's a pretty... Like I said last week, it doesn't sound like it's a very good way to go.
Well, it seems like that's actually more of a question than it should be, because some people over the head of Imperial counterinsurgency in the Achenar system actually believes that Professor Palin and his colleagues were purposefully given this new strain of Cerberus plague to bring it to Wilkes Orbital and infect many people.
Who would want to do that? Who could be behind that?
There's the obvious threat of Thargoids.
Ooh,
that is true.
Trying to get back at us.
I mean, you think about it. They abduct some man who's, studying unidentified artifacts and meta-alloys, and then give him a plague and drop him off so people can easily pick him up later and take him to a station. Seems
I think people underestimate how big of a number 30 systems inside a month and billions of lives.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That is quite a lot.
I mean, it's easy to forget about, some systems over here or there because the galaxy's so big. And
how does it even spread?
Just contact, air contact, touch contact, liquids, all sorts of stuff. That's why, they were suggesting that if you were dropping off cargo before when you were delivering the tea and stuff, not to get out of your ship, just to deliver it, let it go, But it looks like, luckily, it's been eradicated. And, tons of people were coming in, bringing in a lot of tea, enough to cure everybody, or at least prevent any further outbreaks. That's what's important.
I feel like every major system should have a backup supply of High-KT in case of something like this.
It's a very rare substance to come by. Obviously, it's only made in the one system. But if they could maybe share, how they make the tea with some other systems, we might be able to, amp up production a little bit. Maybe just have a couple agricultural planets put aside just to make this cure in case it comes back again.
There we go, yeah.
Of course, that's assuming that the next strain of Cerberus plague will be able to be cured by the tea.
Well, that's true. But, I mean, it seems like at least this strain is cured really quickly by the tea.
Yeah.
Because... I mean, I don't know if you guys have read this, but apparently Ishmael Palin was back up and working in a matter of hours after he drank it.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand he's probably super excited to get working on unknown artifacts again, especially with the recent material that's able to resist the unknown artifacts' destructive capabilities. I mean, before you couldn't really study them without any of your equipment or facilities getting destroyed, which of course would suck. But yeah, now it all works. It's great. They make this material out of meta-alloys, and they can encase the UAs in it, and it resists anything that the UAs try to do.
Now, of course, though, that means that they are requiring commanders to come and deliver more meta-alloys.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are really wanting meta-alloys nowadays, especially with Ackerman Market needing meta-alloys to boost its economy, and now they want more meta-alloys to build this equipment. It's a lot of stuff to be using that for. I wonder if we're going to run out.
It's very lucrative business.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Definitely lucrative.
I mean, I just wonder how long it's going to be that lucrative, though, because I know even though there aren't that many barnacle sites right now, I mean, it seems like commanders are going and finding new positions throughout the Pleiades every day almost. So I wonder how long this supply-demand thing will be as off-balance as it is.
Well, it's not just to think of that, too, though. I mean, the main reason they want these meta-alloys is to create the material to create special ship modules so they can transport the unknown artifacts without having to worry about their ship destructing on the way. Which it's always nice. I mean, you imagine jumping into a system and all of a sudden your frame shift drive just doesn't work. That would be terrible.
I'm telling you, as a trader, as long as it's lucrative right now, I can get a lot of money for it, I'm going to do it. I don't care for how long.
Well, you got to worry about those protesters too, though.
Well, those protesters, man, come on. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I don't
Well, it
know. I
makes
mean,
sense.
recently it sounds like the protesters have gotten like really violent, even taken to their ships. And I heard one commander. Well, I had a report from one commander who said that he was going to deliver some meta alloys to Obsidian Orbital, and there was two Fer-de-Lances waiting there for him, and scanned his cargo and immediately decided to kill him. Although
Well,
he barely escaped, obviously, because he told me the story. But
they can
yeah, he
try
said
me.
that,
They can
you
they
know,
can try me. All right, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I know you're
Okay?
flying around in your big tough Type 6 there. I don't
Exactly.
I don't think that's
I'm
gonna
very good
resist
at
those
running away.
Fer-de-Lances. Think I could
No.
chase down your Type 6 in a Sidewinder if I really wanted to.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome to decorate my windshield. You know.
that assumes that you can catch me to ram me in the first place. Those Type 6s are not exactly known for their movement speed.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
Okay. Well, aside from the meta alloys, it looks like another thing that's had an issue with supply and demand is land enrichment systems. Apparently, the terraforming project over on Venic 1 just ran out of land enrichment systems. They didn't realize how many they'd need, so they're actually extending their campaign for an extra week in order to get more.
Another trading opportunity.
Yep, another
Yep.
trading opportunity, and one considerably easier and less dangerous than the meta alloys from Maya. The one issue, it seems, is that most of the stations or most of the systems around Venic 1 have run out of land enrichment systems. But how many do they really need? That seems like it's a lot of land enrichment systems to need 2 weeks of several thousand tons of land enrichment systems coming in.
who knows? Maybe they're trying to make some utopia.
Yeah,
Or something.
Pranava and Tal maybe
Yeah.
working in that area. But also, is it going to be worth the money? I mean, I get it. They're trying to make an agricultural settlement, and that'll help them with saving money on food and for the system in the long run. But I mean, the amount of money they're using to purchase these land enrichment systems, is it worth it?
Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think terraforming is usually a long process. It doesn't seem like it would take a short amount of time. Maybe they're trying to speed up the process by getting more.
Yeah, possibly. But still, it seems like a lot of money to be sinking into one planet.
Yeah, it does. Well, we'll see if it's worth it for them in the end. I mean, I'm sure. I'm sure if it's
Yeah.
not worth it, we'll hear about it pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But hey, as long as they pay me, I'm going to
Exactly.
deliver. And as I'm not getting shot at
about
by
to say.
protester.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly. All right, Commander, we're going to cut to a commercial break right now. We'll be back in a few minutes.
And we're back to talk about President Halsey coming out of her induced coma.
Yeah, it's a very exciting thing, and it interests me that it was just a few days ago that they said they were thinking she was well enough to bring her out of the coma. So now that she's out, that's pretty exciting that they were able to do that in such a short time.
Yeah, what I thought was interesting, though, is it seems like President Zachary Hudson has very close watch on her. He was the one of the first people to report on her situation.
Yeah, it seems rather strange since mostly it's been medical personnel and people from the hospital and such, doctors reporting on about how she's doing, but all of a sudden Hudson comes out with a statement saying, oh yes, the doctors have told me this, and she's, doing well, and the destruction of Starship One was severe, but she was okay, It seems rather interested that now that she's waking up, he's suddenly on the scene.
I have to say I'm very suspicious of this. Like, Zachary, to me, doesn't seem like a very empathetic dude. Like, he'd rush to someone's aid. Like, if she was in care, she's in care, and he doesn't feel like someone who would be bothered to spend time with someone who's being taken care of by someone else. He has more important matters to take care of. What is his, angle here with Halsey?
Well, it doesn't always necessarily mean it's malicious. I mean, I'm
yes, it does.
number one in the line. I'm number one in the line to be suspicious of Zachary Hudson, but it could just be that they knew each other when she was in service, and he might just be happy to see a friend coming back to health that was previously thought to be dead.
Well, to quote Dr. Lucy Ingalls, Halsey is still in delicate condition.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, she's not going to be getting right back to it. I think even Hudson said that she'll probably take at least a week off before she will be able to even address the public, let alone go back to politics if she can, that is, depending on whether this vote of no confidence thing is still going to be upheld or if they're actually going to reconsider now.
I'm certain her family's very happy to see her, though. I mean, I can imagine the relief that they're feeling is immense.
Though, Starship One, how was it destroyed?
In the report, they released a very large and thorough report that it was simply an engine malfunction, something to do with a cooling system, and it just made it explode.
Are we honestly going to believe that? The Starship One just had a malfunction and blew up.
I mean, we've made some claims in previous episodes, but I mean, going off of just what the report says, it was just a malfunction. But yeah, like you say, I'm still not too sure about that.
Because I think when she wakes up, what she'll be able to say about it will be very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we have no idea.
Just like Ishmael Palin.
Well, Ishmael Palin still hasn't really talked much about exactly what happened to him. He's pretty much gotten up and gone back to work. He hasn't really talked about how his ship was destroyed or who he was attacked by or if he was attacked at all or how he came to be in his life support pod in the first place. All that he's done is gotten up and gone to work.
Yeah, I mean, that seems kind of strange to me. Like, wouldn't you want to, let everyone know what happened? I mean, I know he's doing important work with the metalloys and the unknown artifacts and all that stuff, but still, it seems kind of strange.
It makes me wonder if there's maybe something that was released to one of the governments that they just don't want to give to the public yet.
Thargoids.
Yeah.
Thargoids.
Thargoids.
Well, I wonder if our suspicions will be confirmed when Halsey finally makes a statement. If she makes a statement, and she avoids discussing what happened to Starship One, that might be interesting to see. But
yeah,
hopefully we learn more from it. I'm confident she'll at least say something informative. Especially since she's so much more, or was so much more in the public eye than Palin ever was, being as she was president.
Yeah, Palin only really got famous recently with the barnacles and all that stuff, so...
The Federation is not, the only thing having some political machinations going on in the background. It looks like the Alliance and Independent Systems have actually had a summit recently at the Irkutsk station just this week. It seems about 11 fleets from both Alliance and independent governments were represented, and one of the topics under discussion was actually the threat of the Empire and the Federation, what threats they had on the Alliance and independent systems.
Yeah, their rapid expansion is very unsettling.
They have fleets of commanders who use ships built by, just every consumer-grade company that you can get. They don't really have specialized equipment or capital ships or anything like that. So if it were to come to war, they would be severely lacking in firepower. I'm curious to know if they're considering maybe doing some manufacturing in that area.
Would they be lacking in numbers?
I think combined, all the independence and alliance systems wouldn't be lacking in numbers.
No.
But that's the problem. They're not combined. They're independent, which is, that's probably a reason why this summit was called, to try to have a response force in case one of them are attacked. But in the end, Li Yongrui is probably going to go ahead and defend his own interest before he defends the interests of another. And, same thing for the Sirius Corporation, or especially, I can't imagine, like Archon, and his pirates trying to help people out a lot. They're usually in it for themselves. So
I think this could be a very enemy of my enemy situation. And
it definitely could, but at the same time, it's not like they're exactly enemies right now with the Federation and the Alliance, or with the Federation and the Empire. They're still neutral at this point. No one's, really at war, severely at war with somebody else right now. And so, yeah, the enemy of your enemy is your friend, but at the same time, if it's just the enemy of someone that you don't really care about, they're definitely not your friend at that point.
true, very true.
Oh man, it's a shame that Commander Chives isn't here. I have some new information regarding the season 2 of the PvP League.
Oh well, poor Commander Chives, missing out.
So they have the 51st Masilla, and that's actually their team name. It's not the 51st, it's the 51st. The Smiling Dog Crew are going to participate, which they were some of the commanders that were originally blockading Maya and the Merope systems where the barnacles were.
Oh, interesting.
So that will be interesting to see them in the season 2. Then we have the Winged Hussars, the Guild of Rebi Screenus Maximus.
I want to see what they're bringing.
Yeah. And the Time of Chaos.
No, yeah, if you remember, actually, we talked about them a while ago, because I actually had a run-in with them in their home system. Do you remember that? Yeah, they were.
Yeah, I remember that now.
They were, like, I flew in and I just was delivering some cargo, and they were just like, if you don't have business with the Time of Chaos, you need to get out of the system or we're going to destroy you. Like, they were pretty damn aggressive, so maybe they can work out that aggression in the PvP League.
Yeah, in a constructive manner. Well, that seems to be all the. Well, actually, I don't know how to. I don't know what I was going to go.
Well,
with
in terms of competitions between pilots, you've got the PvP, but you also have a competition ending a little bit sooner. It looks like the Carmack Intergalactic Mining Association's SEMA Prospectors competition is going to be ending on April 3rd. So far, they say they've been able to double the amount of known pristine metallic rings, which is very exciting for miners out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're hoping the competition will end on the 3rd of April of 3302. So if you have any more data on pristine metallic rings, you need to get in sooner than that date so you can see if you can win that competition. I'm not sure what prize they're offering, but it seems very exciting. Probably something related to mining, I imagine.
And speaking of other competitions...
We're going to go to a third competition here.
We're going to go to a third competition. After a long hiatus, Alfred Jeffress, obviously the reclusive philanthropist that has done many of the treasure hunts throughout the galaxy beforehand, has come back and is starting up a new one.
Ooh, exciting.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
I was just saying, ooh, exciting.
Oh. The only hint for or the only clue to get started with this treasure hunt being the king's resting place is where I'm hid, entrusted to a queen with a spring in her steps.
Exciting. I mean, it's super cool. I mean, anytime a billionaire is willing to part with some of his money for a little bit of riddle solving, I'll
be there.
Yeah. But it seems pretty cool. Just try to bring the community together in a little scavenger hunt. Something a little bit more fun to take your mind off of all the plagues and Thargoids and meta-alloys and all the crazy stuff going on in the universe. Just, play a little game, get a little money.
I noticed some of the mechanics that were looking over my Cobra again when I brought it in. They had their own theories about it, saying that it would be in the Avalon system at like Persephone Dark or something, relating it back to like King Arthur and all that.
The ancient, the ancient tales of King Arthur and Persephone, the queen of the underworld. So that could be a queen that they're talking about. But you know what? I'm sure as soon as the prize is found, we'll hear more about it. But until then, there's a little tip from Radio Sidewinder: head to Avalon if it's not too late. But yeah, well, we don't have billionaire fortunes to give away, but you can always still join us at the Radio Sidewinder Minor Faction, and of course the Pilot's Lounge. If you're interested in talking to people online, we're usually online, and you can just chat. And if you're stuck out there in the black, a little bored, want some company, we got plenty of people here to chat with you.
Yep.
Miners know the deal.
Yeah.
And like Steven said, we don't have money to give away, but we do have plenty of great music, so stay tuned for that right after this.
This has been Radio Sidewinder. My name is Commander Zahn, signing off.
This is Commander Steven Atronach.
I'm Commander Felix Jefferson, signing off. Fly safe, Commander.